Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm gonna be testing the GTX 1650 Super, which is a new card that launched like yesterday or the day before. I just bought it today, so I'm testing it here for the first time. And as you can see, it's a little bit overclocked out of the box. It runs like 1850 to 1890 megahertz here out of the box while gaming, of course. You can see there the usages. You know, when it's at 99% usage, it drops a little bit to like 1850. But yeah, this is the Asus Phoenix OC version of the card. Pretty low-end cooler, to be honest. And we're running Ryzen 7-3700X and 16 gigs of RAM, of course, as usual. So yeah, we're gonna be playing at 1080p, of course, low, competitive, which is low with epic view distance, medium with shadows, high with no shadows, and epic with no shadows. Let's dropping the whipping woods here. Oh my god, that was quick. Alright, you could see there that we are running DirectX 11 mode in this video. And that's because in every Nvidia card that I tested so far, that's the 1660 Ti, GTX 750 Ti, 1066 GB, and 1650 non-super. Those cards all performed a little bit better in DirectX 11, so that's why we're going to be testing it here as well with that API. But of course, in a later video coming probably tomorrow, I'm going to be testing DirectX 12 as well here in this card. So keep tuned in, don't go anywhere, and let's touch the ground and start our FPS counting system. So average and 1% lows are in the screen right now, as you can see. Okay, so we got a blue film eyes, not bad, not bad. You know what? Maybe DirectX 12 actually stutters a little bit less here. Our 1% lows are a little bit low, you know, compared to what we got, for example, with the GTX 1060. But I think they're the same, for example, as the GTX 1660 Ti. Yep, not too sure about that, but you will need a beefy CPU to play this game at these frame rates with the GTX 1650 Super. So keep that in mind, you know. Maybe that Ryzen 5 2600 won't really be enough to get these kind of frame rates. That was a bot for sure. And you're probably gonna have to pair it with something like a Ryzen 5 3600 to get these frame rates in DirectX 11. DirectX 12 is a little bit less CPU intensive, so, or it's better at managing your CPU resources, so that's why a 2600 would get the same FPS. So if you have a lower end CPU, just be sure to play in DirectX 12 mode if you want the highest frame rates. So far so good, as you can see over here. We're still averaging around 250 FPS, and our 1% lows, as you can see, are pretty damn respectable as well at 166. But just keep in mind, you know, if you have a CPU that's like a Ryzen 3 1200, Ryzen 5 1600, or even like Ryzen 5 2600, I would recommend you to play in DirectX 12 if you are after a high refresh rate gaming, you know, at 200 plus FPS, and playing on low settings or competitive settings, of course. Speaking of, let's just stop our average and 1% lows counting system over here and hide ourselves here and put it at competitive. Okay, so here we go. Let's start it again. Yeah, this shouldn't be too different from low settings, to be honest. And as you can see, so far so good, guys. We haven't seen like stuttering issues or stuff like that. So very smooth performance from this card. This is actually a little bit better than the GTX 1066 GB from what I'm seeing here. And yeah, that's amazing to see. You know, it's also a cheaper card than that, obviously, and it only consumes 100 watts of power. And it's good to see as well that the Phoenix OC model over here from Asus, which is basically the lowest end model from the GTX 1650, it is overclocked, so keep that in mind, you know. It's impressive that they still overclocked it. But yeah, as you can see, our temperatures are in the 70s. That's just normal stuff, you know. 74 degrees is nothing to worry about, absolutely. So I will definitely play with these temperatures 24/7 without an issue. But it's just something to keep in mind, probably if you get like something like a Gaming X version or even a WindForce version from Gigabyte, which is pretty cheap, and it was actually cheaper than this, but it wasn't really available when I bought this. So yeah, I just had to buy this one because it was either this one or the Asus stuff for 20 more bucks than this, and you know, just save 20 bucks and grab the cheaper model. I'm just gonna use it like 3 or 4 times per month anyways to test games with it, so yeah, doesn't really matter. So as you can see here, so far so good. Competitive settings gives us an average of 248 FPS, 1% lows of 167. So if you guys want a 240 Hz experience or like a 144 Hz experience, yeah, the 1650 Super is actually quite impressive, and I gotta tell you guys that this card is actually like 40% faster than the normal 1650. So that's amazing, and the price isn't really that different. And as you can see, by the way, we're on medium settings now. Okay, thank you so much to protect me, my save. What's going on, buddy? What is going on? Okay, let's start our counting here. And as I was saying, the price of the 1650 Super is actually only like 10-15 bucks more than the 1650 non-super. So unless you really have a low-end power supply and you really need like an ITX version of the 1650, which I have, you know, I have the Gigabyte Mini OC model, which doesn't really require a 6-pin power connector or an 8-pin power connector, just doesn't really require a power connector at all, unless you really have a specific use case for that 1650 non-super. This one is a much better buy. I think this one actually consumes a little bit less than the RX 570. It's also a little bit faster, so depending on the price, I'm not sure what I would pick at this point. This is really well priced, guys. You know, I wasn't really expecting this product from Nvidia. When I heard like 1650 Super, I thought, you know, it's gonna be like 10% faster than the 1650. It's gonna be like on par with the RX 570, or like even like an overclocked RX 570 or RX 580 should be better than it. But you know, this is actually outperforming the RX 580 in a few titles, and it's actually a little bit better than the GTX 1066 GB in other titles as well. So impressive to see that from Nvidia. I certainly didn't expect that. And well, as you can see, still medium settings, 163 or 4 FPS, let me stop that, 119, 1% lows, very smooth experience still here on medium settings, and these are kind of the graphics that the PS4 runs at, so you guys have a little bit of an idea. If you want similar graphics to that, you can use medium settings here on the PC. Let's disable shadows and see how many FPS we can get here. Okay, so as you can see now, 170 something FPS, 180, so we got like what, 10, 15, 20 more FPS at best from disabling the shadows when compared to using medium settings, just the default medium settings, you know, the preset. This is okay, you know, it's still a very good experience. Of course, it doesn't look as good as medium settings with shadows enabled, but I'm really not sure if I would play with medium settings with shadows enabled, because the render distance from the shadows is actually pretty low, pretty short, you know. So yeah, I don't really like that too much. But so far, guys, if these are the settings that you want to use, oh boy, I missed. We're gonna die, guys. It's now. We are gonna die. Oh, he builds. Okay, wait, we can do this. He doesn't have shields. Okay, I'm just gonna go away. I'm just gonna try to go away at least. Okay, we're good. Oh my god, almost. By the way, this guy... Oh, too late. Alright, never mind. Thank you for the mini shields anyways. I'm gonna pick it up, actually. Okay, so can we get the guy? Not sure. Alright, so as you can see, so far so good. Our averages are like in the 180s. Our 1% lows are a little bit better than, of course, medium settings with shadows enabled, because after all, it's a little bit of a worse graphics settings here without shadows, obviously. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stop that and do high settings now, the high preset. So let's apply that. Okay, so high settings here, as you can see, applied. DirectX 11, probably gonna stutter a little bit here while loading the stuffs, you know. So let's start here our counting system, and now we see the 1650 struggle a little bit, you know. It's still very smooth, it's still very playable, especially if you have like a 60 Hz monitor or a 75 Hz monitor. Should I heal up? I'm gonna heal up, guys, I don't care. The boss got us, you know, and we go... Nope, I'm not here. Oh, god damn it. No, he picked me up. What the heck? This is another squad. Where's the boss? Please, the boss, help me. Help me, buddy. You can do it. 3 versus 1, I think. Oh, yeah, nice. He got us. He got us. Oh my god. Oh my god, he's building so much. No, he's there. He's there. Okay. Just do it. Just do it. No, don't pick me up, don't bother. As you can see now on high settings, guys, by the way, we're seeing 75 degrees Celsius on the GPU. Things are getting a little bit toasty here with this cooler. I was actually initially gonna buy the 1660 Ti with this cooler as well, but I saw some reviews of it and it was reaching like the high 80s, so that's really bad. You know, at least this one consumes like 20 watts less than the 1660 Ti, and it's a little bit more manageable, you know, so it doesn't really reach 80 degrees. Oh my god, look at those constructions. Jesus, you're a pro, buddy. So it's still a very smooth experience here on high settings, guys, don't get me wrong, but of course it's not a high refresh rate experience. So I just, if you have a 144 Hz monitor, 120 Hz monitor, I would play on medium if you want the graphical fidelity, of course. Medium with no shadows maybe, or high with no shadows, as we're about to see. But of course, if you want to have that competitive advantage and play at the maximum FPS possible, just play on lower competitive settings. It's gonna work fine as well. And by the way, as we are out of the whipping woods, as you can see, we're getting like FPS up in the 90s, 100s sometimes. So yeah, that's why I test in the whipping woods, by the way, if you guys are not sick of hearing me saying that every time. Oh, that's unfortunate. That was a pretty good effort here from the boss, so let's get into another one. Oh boy, okay, so Rokazis is here with us today. I think we already won a game with him, so yeah, he's gonna carry us for sure, him and the boss here, because the boss is also a really good player. What the heck? Look at that balloon reflection in the water. What a weird thing, guys. I never noticed that. But yeah, of course, let's drop in the whipping woods. My boys know where to drop. My boys know where is the most beautiful place in the world. Of course, I had to say it. As you can see, guys, 1080p, high settings without shadows this time around. Let's do this. And as we are dropping, you can see that things look a lot better over here in terms of our performance, of course. With shadows enabled, the game itself did look a lot better. I'm not even kidding. It's like a night and day difference when shadows are enabled versus when they aren't. It makes a huge difference. So if you guys want that graphical fidelity experience, playing with high settings with shadows enabled is my recommendation. The game still feels very smooth, and it still runs very well, of course, and it looks awesome, of course. So if you are after that experience, you can do that. But of course, PC gaming is all about the experiences that you can have. So if you want that high refresh rate experience, of course, you can play on high settings, for example, without shadows, and get like 137 FPS average, like we are right now in the whipping wood. So remember that. And well, guys, I gotta tell you, the 1650 Super is actually impressing me a little bit. Coming from a 1650 non-super, it was actually getting what, like 60 FPS, around 60 FPS on high settings yesterday on DirectX 12. Of course, DirectX 12 is a little bit more demanding than DirectX 11, and we're gonna be testing this one as well in DirectX 12 tomorrow. Why are you doing this? Oh, okay. Of course. Thank you. So yeah, this is really great performance coming from the 1650 Super. It's like 40% faster than the original 1650, so it's a really impressive bump in performance. Not like the 2060 to the 2060 Super, or the 2070 to the 2070 Super, or even the 2080 to the 2080 Super, which was the most like negligible thing that they could have done. You know, it's the Super 2080 is actually like what, 5% faster than the 2080. So you can see 145 FPS average. If you still have that 144 Hz monitor, it's gonna be an amazing experience here with this GPU. And let's do epic settings right now. As you can see, epic settings are very demanding. We're getting around like 71 FPS right now, so it's still a very playable experience, of course, and you're probably gonna get up to 90 FPS average outside of the whipping woods. But yeah, you know what? If you have a 60 Hz monitor and if you want to play this game at epic settings, it actually looks awesome, of course, and you're probably gonna stay above 60 FPS all of the time, because if you're not dropping from 60 right here, you're probably not gonna drop from 60 anywhere else. Even at the end of the game, you know, when you're fighting against the last guy in the game, you can see that our 1% lows are at 57, but I didn't really see it drop that much. It was probably just a little bit of a stutter there, as we saw just right now, you know, in the graph. Every little spike in the graphs, by the way, the frame time and the frame rate graphs is a little stutter, so keep that in mind. The game stutters just a little bit in every single configuration that I've tested with so far. It's not really game breaking. I got used to it, to be honest. I don't even notice them anymore, almost, you know. So okay, so far extremely good performance coming from the 1650 Super. As you can see, it's actually like a 1650 Ti, you know. It's like the 1050 Ti of 2019. Let's just disable shadows here in epic settings and start our counting system again and see our FPS in the 100s right now. Jesus Christ, that's a massive improvement. Every time I test Fortnite and disable shadows, I get like a huge bump in performance, especially at higher settings. Okay, where's the other one? There he is. Oh, he wasn't from that squad. Okay, interesting. Okay, can we just break that thing? Alright. Let's go. Let's push him, guys. Let's do this. Let's get into a little fight over here. It's been very, very quiet so far here, testing all of these settings. Where is he? He's not here. He's not here. Where the heck is he? Where did he go? God damn it. Wait a second, Rockhazy isn't here anymore. Okay, so as you can see here inside of the bush is where we get the lowest FPS at 109 FPS there. But so far, guys, if you still have that high refresh rate monitor that I'm always talking about, and I'm always talking about that because it's really a game-breaking experience, not a game-breaking, it's really a night and day difference between 60 Hz and 144 Hz. And if you have a GPU like this, and if you're playing Fortnite competitively and stuff like that, or even if you are just appreciating the game, you know, playing it casually, it feels much better, I gotta say, in a high refresh rate monitor. And I was one of those guys like a year and a half ago, I think, that had a 60 Hz monitor and I didn't really want to upgrade it, but then I saw 144 Hz and I just went out and bought a used monitor 144 Hz instantly, like that, boom, you know. This is amazing, man. I just can't go back now to 60 Hz. Every time I have to play in my laptop, for example, with 60 Hz, it's just so much worse. Nvidia just released a non-overpriced product here in 2019, guys. Just a round of applause for Nvidia. Okay, there's one there, guys. Can we get him? He doesn't have shields. Okay. Alright, so far, guys. Okay, yeah, keep shooting at me. He's almost dead. Look at him. What the heck? How many life do you have? How much HP? Okay, god damn it, that took a while. And you know what, guys? Let's stop it right there. 142 FPS average on epic settings without shadows. So pretty much you can play at 60 plus FPS in all of the settings here at 1080p with this GPU. It's an amazing experience. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it on low settings because I like those sweet refresh rates a lot more than the visuals. What do you think? Are we gonna win this or not? Oh boy. Okay, so I just got a little bit of... Oh, the shields out of that guy. Oh, come on. How didn't you get this guy? He was just behind me. Okay, so, well, that's it, guys. We're not gonna win this one, but we might win the DirectX 12 video, so keep tuned in. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe because I make videos like these every day. I'll see you in the next one. Love you all. Bye-bye.